All that energy.
All right, very good. Rhonda, you want to hit it?
We're on.
Oh, we're going.
We're live.
All right. Hello, Hamden. I want to thank Josh Elliott for opening up his house to us today.
Yes.
Let's hear it for Josh. Clap, please. So, a whole bunch of us were out this morning already knocking on doors before this event even started because we are leaving it all on the field.
That's right.
I'm told that is an appropriate sports metaphor. And to carry along with that, we have some MVPs here today. So we have Josh, who's been supporting this campaign from the start. Thank you so much, Josh. Yeah. We got our fearless campaign manager, Brian Murphy, who's been keeping us going the entire campaign, doing an amazing job. Yesterday, we got to see two Murphys.
Murph and Murph.
Yep. And today, it is just so amazing that we have two incredible leaders here in our state. We have Senator Blumenthal. And we have Governor Lamont. I'm going to hand the mic off to our awesome state rep, Jillian.
So, I remember very clearly a few years ago meeting with Lauren, and this was at Best Video. And the reputation I try to create and to perpetuate is that of being honest, and not necessarily brutally honest. I think you can be honest, but also make it palatable. And what I told Lauren was I didn't think she was going to win that year. But what I told her is what I've continued to tell people ever since, and that is that view this through the lens of it being a 3-year campaign. If you lose, you have gained something. All these relationships you've made at the doors and at these events and with people that you've been talking to, they're not going anywhere. So keep on doing the work, and next time around, you're jumping off from the place you left last time around. And when I give people that advice, they don't always take it. And there are people that will lose and decide that the process just isn't for them. Or they'll lose and decide they're not going to do work for the next couple of years, but they'll come back when it's campaign season again. And the difference between Lauren and a lot of these other folk that I talk to is that she continued the work in earnest the whole time. And that meant that people were excited and involved when we had DTC elections and that convention, which is why there's a whole bunch of new faces that are involved with the party, and why in the last 5 or 6 years we've had a complete turnaround, has worked with everybody and mentored people and brought people in. And that means that the people that are involved in the DTC are not just the folk that are okay coming to the meeting once a month, but the people that are actually interested and engaged and excited by the process. And there's room for all of us. We don't have to push people out. We can keep on bringing people in. And that should be what we're doing as a party. So we don't have the same level of toxic political culture in Hamden that we're seeing in a lot of other places in the state. Because I want to tell a quick story about Guilford, because I grew up in Guilford. And my mother is non-political. I grew up in a single family household, single mother household, as an only child. And I was not political in high school. I was not political in college. It wasn't until after college that I started becoming politically aware. And so when I got elected in 2016, my mother was still a registered Republican. When I won re-election in 2020, she was still a registered Republican. So about a month and a half ago, somebody came and knocked on her door, and they wanted to talk to her. And so she started talking with them and didn't know what they were saying, and eventually just stopped him and said, "Why are you here?" And he said, "Well, you're on my list." And she said, "Take me off your list. I don't want to have this conversation." And she called me up and said, what? So we had a conversation, A week later, I got a text from my mother. She changed her affiliation to Democrat. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. So the nice thing is that we don't have that same level of vitriol here. We don't have people that we're fighting against that we don't think actually want to govern. Fortunately, we don't have that problem. But I do think what we're seeing are the last gasps of folk who had been in power and are unwilling to recognize that the town is just a different place than what it used to be 40 years ago. We need to be working on these problems that have been festering for all this time. And we can't have our cake and eat it too. If we want these services, we're going to have to ultimately pay, or we have to tighten those, tighten our belts and make sure that the numbers work. Because I want to be here for decades to come. And I don't want to face a worse problem in 10 or 20 years. And so that is why I've been excited to be working with the slate for the last 5, 6, 7 months, however long it's been, happily working with the slate, not because of what it meant for me politically, but because of what we need in this town. So thank you all for being here. I want to pass it off to our incredible, amazing Senator Blumenthal. And I've been an exploratory for Secretary of State, which means that I've been all around the state for the last couple months. Man, I have seen this guy so much more than I ever would have thought. And I'm excited how he's going to keep. So with that, please give a hand to Senator Blumenthal.
Thank you, John. I do get around. I do get around. I love Connecticut. As you may know, I was in Hamden yesterday, so I love Connecticut, but I really love Hamden. I really love Hamden. And just as one reason why, a historical footnote, when I first ran for Attorney General, it was a pitched battle involving a guy whom I respected then and come to respect even more. We went at it for literally a year and a half, much as Josh is doing, traveling to little towns, Union, Connecticut, 3 times for 1 delegate. And the town that put me over the top, Hamden. So Hamden will always be close to my heart. Hamden is a very special place. As you know, it's home to most everyone here. And the reason why it's so special is that people get involved, they have opinions, and then Democrats come together, which is why we are here today. We are coming together. And I just want to thank 2 people. First of all, Sean Grace, who has been such a great town chairman. Town chairman, as many of you know, is one of the most important, maybe the most important job in politics. And it's also the most thankless. It is the most thankless. If things work out, people forget you. If they don't work out,
It's your fault.
But Sean has been not only working behind the scenes, he's been knocking on doors in the rain, in the heat. He is a hands-on guy. Thank you, Sean, for all of your great work. And then I want to thank Brian Murphy. Thank you, Brian, for great work. I see Brian everywhere I am in Hamden, and really appreciate it. And to Josh, Josh is a star. You know he's a star. Yep. He's a star who doesn't really seek out all the credit to get stuff done in the legislature without trying to get his name in the limelight, and he produces results. He doesn't care about the bills, he cares about the laws. A bill is a great thing to do, but it's the laws that count. And I know that from my own work in the Senate, but Josh is a doer. And I want to really thank Lauren for stepping forward. This has not been an easy race. No race in politics is really easy. There are 2 ways to run for office. You either run scared or you run unopposed. By the way, that's an old saying. But you've heard me say, I always run like I'm 10 points behind.
Yes.
Lauren has such a great background. She's an engineer by training. She knows business. She knows how to get things done.
Yes.
In an age where we're talking about infrastructure literally every day, roads, bridges, railroads. She also knows about naval architecture.
Yeah.
She's going to find a port for him. That's not part of her platform. But truly, you know her background. You know what she's done on the council. You know her commitment to her family and her children, and she's part of the fabric of this community, and she's ready to lead in a way that I think is very important, especially since hopefully this week, I hope Governor Lamont is listening, we are going to get Build Back Better done. Which will mean literally $7 billion for roads and bridges in Connecticut alone. Billions of dollars for Connecticut. And it's really important that we have Ned Lamont as our governor.
No kidding.
At this moment. Not only completing the conquering of the pandemic, but also for that infrastructure that is so important. It's not just investing in the roads and bridges, it's investing in the people who will use them. The people who will use them, preschool, free, universal, all 3 and 4 year olds. And childcare so women can get back into the workforce. We have more jobs than we have people unemployed to fill them. We need to enable those women and get back into the workforce, fighting climate change, making sure that we have the child tax credit made permanent. These are important objectives that will truly transform our country. And at the state level and at the local level, we need people who know how to lead. Lauren is someone who is uniquely qualified at this moment in time. At this moment in time when we are going to be rebuilding our roads and bridges, because she's not only an engineer, but she is a leader who has the vision and courage to make things happen. So I feel so excited about her candidacy. I feel excited about the energy that I saw yesterday and today, yesterday in the rain, today in this beautiful fall weather. You can make history in Hamden. Not today, listen to you today. You can make history in the next 48 hours. Voters come to the polls.
Yeah.
Turnout.
Absolutely.
Turnout. That's all you got to remember. Pretty simple. And you know, because you've done it before, Hamden knows how to do turnout. And Lauren and her team, all of her team, and a lot of them are here today, have done their job. They've been knocking on doors. They've made phone calls. So have you, working hard. And now you got to just bring it home. Bring it home. Get the folks, whatever the weather, to understand democracy is not a spectator sport. You can't watch happen sitting at home on your TV. You got to go make it happen. And democracy is in peril if we fail to make sure that America turns out at the polls. And that's going to be what we're going to be saying for the next 48 hours. I want to thank you for all you've done, for what you will do, and now join me in welcoming one of the best governors in the state of Connecticut, in Connecticut's history, and probably the best governor in the country today, Ned Lamont.
Thanks, Dick. Hey, everybody. Dick goes everywhere, but I eat pizza when I go. Dick, just a little.
I was talking longer so you could finish the pizza.
I'll pick up where Dick left off, though. First of all, I think Connecticut represents the best values in this country. That's why Josh and I are both wearing our Bidens. They used to call them aviators. Now they call them Bidens. And Josh Elliott is the conscience of our legislature. keeps us on the straight and true to our Connecticut values, which I hope we take around the country and show people what we believe in. And Josh, yeah, my dad was a Republican. He worked for Nixon. And, but back during the war in Iraq, he came over. He used to sit around the backseat of his car on his cell phone, calling people all over Connecticut for 8 hours a day. So he came around, and for that I appreciate. And somebody who was there right from the very beginning was Lauren. She's always stood for something bigger than herself, what she believed in. She had one little kid on her back in a papoose the entire way we went, and showed up every day when it was a little controversial. And, you know, for that, I am really proud to be with you here today. I know what you stand for. I know you believe in something a lot bigger than just this election, what it means for Hamden, and what it means for our values. And we got a lot at stake here. What we got, you know, we've got a good president representing the best values. And Dick Blumenthal, you know, like everybody's the 50th vote, the deciding vote. So Dick Blumenthal is the deciding vote. I was sort of interested, by the way. You know who Susan Beiswitz's daughter is going to be for Halloween? Kristen Sinema. That's what it's
No comment. My wonderful friend in college.
But here's what I want to do. I mean, we've got incredible resources and opportunity to make transformative investments and values are translated into action right now. And what Dick is doing in the Senate and what Josh and our colleagues are doing in the legislature, what I'm trying to do in the governor's office, Lauren, I need great mayors. Yes. I need to make sure that when these resources come through, we can say we made a difference. I want to be able to say this was the biggest expansion of daycare and childcare in the history of this state. Yes. And I want to show that it makes a difference. It makes a difference for your son. It makes a difference for moms and dads getting back to everybody the best opportunity at the start of life. And universal pre-K. This is built into the bill. Where we been? I mean, West Virginia has it. Let's go. We ought to be taking the lead there. Dick's been taking the lead on that every day to get this done. This infrastructure bill, I don't know about the Hamden port, but I do know that, look, we got old infrastructure in this state. We're not competing unless we do it. And by the way, this is going to represent tens of thousands of really good union jobs right here in the state of Connecticut. Give everybody an opportunity to step up and make a difference. And, so I can't do it without, friends in the mayor's office who step up every day and do the right thing, know that we share those values. We're working arm in arm to make that difference. And that's why I am so proud. Lauren, get up here. We got to make sure we get her going. Are you fired up? Ready to vote? Fired up? Ready to vote? Next mayor of Hamden.
Thank you. That was amazing, right? All right. Thank you to Josh Elliott, who opened his house to us today, and to our Senator Blumenthal, who's been in Hamden all weekend. Amazing. And to our Governor, Ned Lamont, who I've known since 2006. I'm really excited to be able to work with him and get some results for Hamden. And one of those is not going to be a port. I don't know. But we have a lot of exciting things that we get to do. And, you know, what I've been talking about a lot lately is that we aren't coming in to lead Hamden with a plan of what can we cut. We're coming in with a plan where we get to put these pieces of infrastructure in place. We get to do exciting things that change the course of Hamden's history. We get to put in childcare for people. We get to refresh our roads, put in sewers that produce economic development. There's so much that we can do because there's money coming from our federal government. So thank you to Senator Blumenthal for making that happen, because I don't want to come into office and have nothing that we can do. That would be really dull. And and it wouldn't help Hamden. We get to put in some programming. We get to put in this infrastructure that we need. So I'm very excited to be the mayor that actually gets to produce some results for Hamden. And I'm excited to work with a team that can make it happen. Our candidates on row A are just amazing. And we have Sarah Gallagher, who works in housing policy. So when we're talking about this infrastructure bill, there's housing in the infrastructure bill. And she's going to be working on that with our councilman, Justin Farmer. We have transportation issues that need attention. So we have Ted Stevens, who's going to be working on that. We have a lawyer in the 1st District, Kristen Zeringer, who's going to make sure that we do everything on the straight and narrow. We have it made with this really professionally experienced, excellent quality slate. And it is my honor and privilege to be able to run with them and work with them every single day. And you couldn't ask for a better team. So make sure that when you go to vote, you vote for all of row A, because that's how we're going to get stuff done. Nancy Hill, she's running in the most difficult district. And so she's a social worker, so she can make sure that we all are mentally fit as we're putting in hours and hours of work. No, but more seriously, what she does for kids in New Haven Public Schools and knows what it takes to make sure that our kids have the mental supports in our schools. That's what's really important, actually, because we have students who they see violence around them, and they are asking for mental supports. So when our children are out there asking for these mental supports, they need it. So I'm really excited for Nancy Hill, and I want everybody to go out and vote for her, because she is going to be a really great asset to our legislative council. So what we have here in Hamden and what we have here in Connecticut is an excellent team of Democrats who work hard every day to make sure that our state and our town are running smoothly, efficiently, and have everything that they need. And I'm really looking forward to working with this amazing team of Democrats, because it's not just about getting results for Hamden, it's about making sure that people are taken care of. Those are our democratic values, to make sure that we look out for people. We're looking out for people who need childcare. We're looking out for people who need the mental health supports. We're looking out for people who need more resources. And that is what democratic values are all about. So thank you so much to these excellent heavy hitters coming up for the Democratic team in Hamden. And I'll tell you why they're coming here. It's because we have excitement, because we have a big team, because we're all going to work together. And democracy only works when we're working together. So thank you for all of you for being here and continuing to support this campaign, and for believing in us and donating to us and helping us get out the vote, because we're not done yet.
Not done yet.